Coming up this Sunday is TNA Lockdown 2014 from the home of the U, Coral Gables, Miami, Florida. And I have to give credit where credit is due. TNA has done a pretty good job, to me, of building up the anticipation and the excitement for this pay-per-view, for me at least. And I'm looking forward to this show quite a bit on Sunday. And I hope it's a chance that TNA seizes upon their opportunity and does a good job of giving us that counterculture show to the WWE where they focus on establishing an identity for TNA focused on in-ring action and physicality and some new fresh faces, some new fresh stars. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here. And this to me is a really big important show for TNA because this is one of the few shows that is actually still a pay-per-view for TNA. So the pressure is on with the introduction of the WWE Network. The pressure is really on for TNA to sit here and deliver a show that the customer feels is worthy of a pay-per-view price. And only time is going to tell come Sunday whether or not TNA delivers on that. But there are some things going into the show that make me feel positive that TNA can do just that.
Mark is smart here, and my good friend on the Wrestling Inc. forum, Creature of the Night, and I can't wait for this match. Tigre Uno versus Manic. There's gonna be kicks. There's gonna be flips. This is the type of stuff you would see in Japan. This is gonna be a minimum 4.5-star classic. Screw what that Schleg Daddy says. Manic can talk to us however we want because he's trying to be a character. Don't you understand that, Schleg Daddy, you stupid Mark? Mark is smart, understands the business, and he understands that Tigre Uno versus Manic is going to be an epic encounter on Sunday. Why? Because they are two of the best motherfucking wrestlers in the world.
Oh, God. I don't even know why I let that fool on this show. And of course he would support somebody like a Manic who knocks the OnlyFans, the internet fans, that really care about him at all. But hey, it is what it is. Marcus Smart loves who Marcus Smart loves, and that's the bottom line. Now, one match here that I think is interesting in the sense of it's a chance to establish somebody new. It's Mr. Anderson versus Samuel Shaw. Now, I've been a fan of what they've done with the Samuel Shaw character so far, and I hope they keep going with it. I'm curious to see where they go with it, because at least right now he feels like something that's kind of unique to me. Kind of this creepy, kind of molesterish, stalkerish, rapist type of character. And it's something different. It is something fresh, and it's something good for Samuel Shaw, and he seems to be doing a good job of working with the character and the opportunity that he's being given. It's going to be very curious for me come Sunday to see whether TNA is going to do business the old-fashioned way for them, which is have Mr. Anderson go over here and go over strong, or if they are going to place the proper emphasis on focus where it needs to be focused, and that is on Samuel Shaw going over on Mr. Anderson and going over strong and going over in a big way. That, to me, is what should happen on Sunday. We will see ultimately what would happen, but I would have to think at this point that Samuel Shaw has to beat Mr. Anderson, I would think. Now, I do have to confess something. I'm a little confused. Who's actually the TNA Tag Team Champions right now? And who is the X Division Champion right now? I could have sworn the Wolves won the belts at a house show. Did I miss something? Am I not remembering something about the Bromans winning it back? I don't know what the hell. Please let me know down below. Same thing with the X Division title. It sounds like Austin Aries dropped it at this Wrestle One show in Japan. But I thought I saw him on Impact this week with the X Division title. Again, I'm very confused here. Please, by all means, let me know what it is, what I'm missing, or what TNA is missing. I'm not really sure. Like I said, I'm just hellified confused. I'm also hellified confused by the fact that we're getting a 6-man tag, a Wrestle One versus TNA tag match. And in this match, you've got somebody that is actually known to the older domestic audience here in the United States, and that is the Great Muta. And not only that, a big portion of TNA's fan base are internet fans, and as a result, they are internet fans that love Japanese wrestling, and in particular will know who Great Muta is and love Great Muta and view him as a wrestling legend. So I cannot believe that they're going to have somebody like the Great Muta that goes back to the days of WCW and maybe wrestling people like Sting and Ric Flair. They're going to have him wrestle on this show, which should be one of the drawing cards, so to speak, for this pay-per-view. And it seems like they haven't even announced it at all. They haven't made a big deal about this at all. They haven't promoted this. Imagine that. They haven't marketed this. Imagine that. Why in the hell would you bother bringing in this Japanese group, this Wrestle One group, if you're not going to market them, if you're not going to promote them? What is the point here? I understand this whole thing if you're trying to establish a working business relationship, whatever, but somebody like a Great Muta is somebody that can actually draw you a little bit of money and draw some interest from some fans that maybe wouldn't normally watch TNA. So as far as a six-man tag, I'm confused why the hell you would even bother having it on this card if you're not going to take advantage of having somebody like Great Muta on this card and marketing and promoting the fact that he's going to appear on your show.
The forums have indeed been abuzz all week about TNA Lockdown 2014. You can imagine my great surprise when I found out the Great Muta's going to be there and he's going to wrestle. It's going to be Wrestle One versus Bad Influence and Chris Sabin. It's going to be a six-man tag. Wrestle One versus TNA. This is all types of epic and awesome. This is going to have all types of Japan influences in it. I hope the Great Muta goes over here. You know what? I don't even care. This is just going to be awesome. 6 great in-ring competitors. Again, there's going to be flips. There's going to be kicks. There's going to be all types of fast-paced, high-up-tempo, Japanese offensive awesome. And you want to know why this match is going to be so good? Because these are 6 of the best motherfucking wrestlers in the world.
It is amazing just how little of a fuck I truly give about Gail Kim versus Madison Rayne in a steel cage for the Knockouts title. Wow. Only TNA could sit there and take what a few years ago was one of the biggest assets to their entire product, their Knockouts division, and take it to a point where I care not a damn thing about it. That is truly sad. And that is truly pathetic. And this match here will, if anything else, I suppose, on the positive, give me an excuse to have a poop break in the middle of the pay-per-view. Because that's the only purpose it serves for me at this point.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dick Stone here, baby. And the hour approaches. The moment is finally coming. It is. Let me check my watch here. That's right, Gunner. It's high noon daddy come Sunday at Lockdown, when the cowboy James Storm establishes his dominance, establishes his supremacy, and reminds you that while you might be the modern day Viking, you're gonna be just like them, just sands of the hourglass, and just a distant memory, because the cowboy James Storm will ride tall and reign supreme come Sunday at Lockdown. Woo! Ride the Dick Stone, baby. The cowboy, he gonna win this match, I promise you. And then he gonna go on to become TNA World Heavyweight Champion. Woo.
One thing that is a shame, apparently, is that we're not going to get Ethan Carter III versus Kurt Angle at Lockdown. You got the announcement today, right before I started recording this, apparently, that Kurt Angle hurt his MCL due to the attack by Ethan Carter on Impact, and as a result, he's got a torn MCL and he's going to need surgery, and he's not going to wrestle this Sunday at Lockdown. Damn it all! I love Ethan Carter III, and I wanted to see nothing more than, and screw what Jim Ross says, oh, I can't believe you'd have Kurt Angle in the mid-card. No, because TNA any other time would sit there and be cramming him down your throat in the fucking main event against like Mr. Anderson. No, Kurt Angle is perfect in this spot. As a measuring stick type of individual, you don't need to have him in the damn main event anymore. And him and Ethan Carter III, this could have been good business. This could have been good feud. And this could have been a really good match at one of your featured pay-per-views for an Ethan Carter III facing a Kurt Angle. This is a good feud. This is a good rivalry. And whenever Angle does come back, it has a potential for doing even better business. But, damn it. I wanted Ethan Carter III to have a match on the show. And now he doesn't. I'm really hoping that they found a way to put him in the damn Lethal Lockdown match on Sunday. But sadly, I don't think that's going to happen. I want to see what they're going to do with Ethan Carter III at Lockdown. As far as the Lethal Lockdown match, though, this is one of your two kind of featured matches. Now, I don't think this is main eventing, and I don't think it can main event. There's no way it should main event. Now, the TNA of old, you would have had 8 old fucks in this match, and it would have main evented over the world title. Make no mistake about it. It would have been guys in their 40s wrestling guys in their 50s that have issues with guys in their 60s. But here, you've got Bobby Roode, the Bromans, and Austin Aries versus MVP, the Wolves, and Jeff Hardy. This on the surface looks like it could be a really good match. My one regret about it is the fact that you chose to have the Bromans in here instead of Bad Influence. Now, if they're going to sit there and say, well, that's because we needed them to job, well, frankly, we've been having Bad Influence jobs so fucking much. What the hell's the difference? The match would be that much more likely to be really great and really special in a pay-per-view match of the year for TNA if you had Bad Influence in it, in Kaz and Daniels. But this is a big moment. This is a big spot for Jesse Goddard and Robbie E to actually step up to the plate and show that they can hang with the big boys. I don't know that they're going to, but it is a big spot and a big opportunity. Look, I kind of laugh about this whole thing about Bobby Roode wanting 10% ownership of TNA, and that's the whole reason for him captaining Team Dixie. It's like, ugh, does it really matter? 10% of nothing is still nothing. You know, but you've devoted some time to this, and there are some consequences to who wins or who loses here. Yes, it's another damn power struggle storyline in TNA, and I've had it with that. But I'm hoping that Team MVP wins here at Lockdown, and we get away from this freaking power struggle shit, and we start focusing on other business at hand. I'd expect this match to be really good. I hope, if anything, that one of the Wolves ends up beating one of the Bromans, and that's how you get the victory here. Not something like Jeff Hardy beating Austin Aries or MVP beating Bobby Roode, excuse me. I have no interest in seeing that whatsoever. This may come across as a bit short-sighted or narrow-minded of me, but ultimately, when it all comes to pass, for me, with Lockdown this Sunday in Miami, it's all about one match. It's about one match, and that is Samoa Joe versus Magnus for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. And when I talk so often about TNA and the need for them to be counterculture to the WWE, this is a perfect moment and a perfect opportunity for Impact Wrestling to truly be counterculture to the WWE, where it seems like the WWE is fighting against a lot of their fan base, and the WWE is trying to give you Randy Orton versus Batista for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, whether you want it or not. And they're doing everything they can, it seems like, to keep Daniel Bryan away from that World Heavyweight Championship match at WrestleMania. This is a chance here for TNA to seize upon that moment, seize upon that opportunity, and perhaps bring back some previously disenfranchised TNA fans and bring back some Samoa Joe fans that have been pissed off over the years by how this company has treated Samoa Joe by having Samoa Joe win the belt here. Now, I'm kind of torn because on the one hand, Magnus, you know, he's your young, youthful future of the company. He's been your World Heavyweight Champion ever since December or January, whatever. And, you know, do you really want to take the belt off of him at this point in time and in this moment? Do you feel like you're sacrificing any momentum in his character if he finds a way to lose this? But then on the flip side, I look at it and I say, you know, this is being contested under Joe rules, which is a perfect opportunity to have the heel be at a disadvantage and have him lose the title here. This is a perfect opportunity for TNA, for Impact Wrestling, to give their fans that happy, go-home, proud, and excited moment, that mark-out moment that they've waited for years to see, and that is Samoa Joe to climb that mountaintop once again and become the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I don't even necessarily care how the match could be. There's a lot of story with this. You know, these guys have been friends and foes and friends and foes, and now they're foes again with the biggest stakes in the company on the line, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. To me, TNA has no choice here. And I emphasize again, no choice here. If they want to send the fans home happy, if they want to create some good buzz for their company heading into the rest of 2014, they have no choice but to sit there and have Samoa Joe win that belt on Sunday. Because look, the way you've been doing with business, with Magnus anyways, you could find an excuse in a couple of weeks or at your next free pay-per-view to have Magnus win the fucking belt back. But man, if you drop the ball here and you have Magnus win and you rob the fans of that great and epic moment with Samoa Joe, you might truly turn off people from your product once and for all. And any people that have been disenfranchised and upset with what the WWE's been doing lately with the Daniel Bryan stuff and already being mad because their boy CM Punk left, you could have had a chance to bring them back in the fold by having Samoa Joe give you this moment, this mark out moment where he climbs that mountain, like I said, and becomes a TNA World Heavyweight Champion. If you don't seize upon that opportunity, TNA, if you don't seize upon the momentum of Samoa Joe right now, I will feel no sympathy for you if a lot of fans turn away from your product after this pay-per-view. This show is ultimately, to me, about one match, one booking decision, and one result. I really hope that TNA wants to be counterculture to the WWE, because, boy, it's been teed up for them to be able to do just that come Sunday. I guess we'll find out what happens.